there's often an emphasis put on us seeking pleasure, and a lot of times meaningless pleasure. You know, is pleasure that's temporary. Temporary satisfactions. Temporary satisfactions are all the rave today. You know what I'm saying? As long as it feel good now, and in the moments to come, it's all good, right? That's kind of like the mentality today. There's not a lot of emphasis that's put on things of meaning, and that's even by media, especially by media, whether it be social media, whether it be, the media that you catch through a radio or a television. Uh, yeah, rich risings to you too. Yes, yes, dopamine, right? So people are addicted to the highs. They're addicted to the highs that come with these temporary pleasures. But there's a much bigger, thing in effect, which is destiny. How do these senseless escapades affect our destinies, where we're going, what we were meant to be in life, who we were meant to become, right? All of these things are very important, you know. And what I will say, within traditional practices, is those people who follow me know, I'm a practitioner of Puerto Rican voodoo, as well as a devotee of Ifa. So I always speak from a traditional perspective. I always speak from a perspective of somebody that's a part of traditional culture and what it means from a traditional point of view, you know. Because there's a reason why these principles were in place. I mean, the ancients didn't just pull this information out their ass. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just pull this information for nothing, right? There were reasons for all of these things to be in effect. And when we get into the topic of how, senseless sex and things like that affect destiny, we see the results of this all over the place. We see this, we see this thought, these things play out in, divorce rates. We see it played out in single motherhoods. We see it played out in many ways. You know what I'm saying? And all of this is connected to chasing senseless pleasures, not thinking things through before you act on it, right? And this is a crazy thing, that it's so far gone that people are not making this connection. People are not even making the connection. Peace, Princess Jasmine. Yeah, people not even making that connection between senseless sex and destiny. Especially our brothers out here, our men out here. And with that being said, you have to make wiser decisions, because the partners that you're picking is going to ultimately affect destiny. So let's go through some examples of like how that looks, what that looks like, right? You have the cases where, let's say if I'm dating somebody, right? And I was dating that person for just a senseless pleasure, right? Because they looked good, they were attractive, but I didn't really see a future with that person. Or maybe I couldn't see a future yet, right? Maybe I'm prematurely jumping the gun. Well, the time that I'm spending having the senseless pleasure is taken away from the time of actually building my goals, actually putting myself in a position of power, actually putting myself in a position of prosperity, because that time is being ate away with senseless pleasures. That time is being spent with senseless pleasures. And because of that, it's taking away from my ultimate destiny. is taken away from our ultimate destiny. There's many ways that we see this playing out. There's many ways that we see this playing out. Even on the fact of, like, let's say if I was giving myself senselessly, right, for senseless pleasures, that couldn't even take away from the partner that was really supposed to be for me, because I'm wasting time with people that I know they not for me, but they're satisfying, right? They bring something physically satisfying, but really in my heart of hearts, I know this person is not for me, right? I'm taking time away from people that actually are for me. And you guys have to take this into account when we're speaking on things like destiny, things like senseless sex and senseless pleasures. You're taking away as well from building effectively. Like, you know, when you're picking from a point of destiny, when you're picking from a point of a bigger purpose, you build different, you know. And when you're building off of senseless pleasures, this is how you see people, they always getting caught into like situations where they love the person now, but they stuck. So like, it's just chaos gonna keep happening. Why? Because you allowed yourself to fall in love with somebody that wasn't for you. And why do I say allowed? Because you knew that person wasn't for you from the beginning. You knew it, but you still went with it. You knew that person wasn't going to be a fit, but you didn't care. You still went with it, and you thought somehow that in this modern world, with these modern concepts, old world things, old world hormones and things didn't apply. Yes, the dopamine hits that you getting from that person, it still apply. All of that still applies to what you're going through. And this is how you can fall in love with a person that ain't shit. Why? Because they did something physical that you liked. And because they did something physical that you liked, you allow yourself to continue dealing with that person. And as you continue dealing with that person, guess what's taking place? You're developing feelings for them. You're developing emotions for them. You're falling in love. But to you, it's not registering consciously because you don't consciously fall in love. Falling in love is an unconscious thing. You just wake up and you realize you love that person, or something happens and you realize you love that person. And this is all subconsciously happening. And you allowed yourself to be in that position because there was a time when you knew that that person was not for you. You knew it. There was a time when you knew it wasn't going to work, but you went past those lines. You went past those flags, and you continued on, and you pushed on, and you pushed on. And now, boom. Now what are we going to do? Now we're stuck. What are we going to do? Gemstar Barber says guilty. Listen, Queen, it's okay. I've been guilty of the same. Like we're all humans. We all have been guilty of the same. But with wisdom, you know, we start to change those results with wisdom. You know, with wisdom, we don't fall into the same things, right? And that just takes time. That just takes wisdom. That just takes understanding. You know, you got to learn. You got to know better. Yeah. Once you make those mistakes, you got to learn better. So just realize that all of this affects destiny, because now you get in a situation with somebody and you say you love them now, even though they ain't shit. But now you have a baby with them. Right? And now that baby tied you to that person, and maybe the baby make it harder to leave. Right? A lot of things happen. A lot of things happen. Maybe the trauma, because of maybe because the healing that you needed didn't take place, the trauma bonding of what you did with that person becomes more lasting, to where You ride out 10 years. You ride out 10 years with that person. Wasting time. What? What? All the things that you were supposed to achieve is wrapped up in that relationship that was about to take you nowhere. You see, these are very important things to realize. Your Avon lady, wisdom is directly related to the length of your hair. It might be, Queen. It might be. It might be. So yeah, this is real though. You gotta have more discernment. Is this a decision that makes sense for destiny? Or does this make sense for the next 20 minutes? Does this make sense for the next 30 minutes? Oh, that person do that thing I like. You know what I'm saying? That person touched me in this way I like. Is that worth more than destiny? Than life? Because this is the thing. The novelty of sex wears off. The novelty of sex wears off. And this is why when I date a woman, I try to wait. Because I don't want... Men, you got to practice dick discipline. You got to. You have to have dignity. Men, you have to have dignity. Because what I'm telling you is this. You don't want to build foundations on shaky surfaces. You don't. You don't want to build foundations that's going to interfere with destiny. Damn, can you communicate with this person? Do you even know if you and this person can communicate effectively? But you want to run inside of her. All fast. All thirsty. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all even know? Are you compatible in the long term? Do you even know? No. Sex puts a cloud. It puts a haze over what is. It muddies the water. Sex muddies everything. The minute when sex get involved, things get fuzzy. Things get cloudy. And you don't see clear. Now those red flags, it look like Six Flags. Why? Because the sex is clouding your mind. The sex is not allowing you to see clearly. It's not allowing you to see things for what they are. You know what I'm saying? This is real. This is real shit. Yeah, it's going up, y'all. Y'all keep liking. We over 1,000 likes. It's up. So yeah, y'all. The sex, it clouds your mind. Yeah, you turn red flags into carpets. Queen Angel, yes. People turn red flags into carpets. And they think they're going to be Aladdin and Jasmine on that motherfucker and ride off. That's what it is. Listen, you have to be more wise in that process right there. Wisdom doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the urge. Yes, you're going to feel the urge. But you can't give into it before you're ready. I don't care how beautiful she is. I don't care how handsome he is. I don't care what. It's not going to be worth destiny being compromised. It's not going to be worth the uphill climb that you're going to have to go through when you make that decision. Because every decision going to have a ramification behind it. Whether good or bad, it don't matter. So it's best to hold off on those physical pleasures until you feel like this is a person I can build a foundation with. And once you feel like this is a person, yes, hold up. Gemstar Barber, those soul ties don't even be worth it. Big facts. Big facts. Those soul ties that you about to build from jumping into sexual things before you're ready, it's not going to be worth it. Trust me. It's not. Better to, hold off. Okay, man, if your balls got to be blue a little bit, let them be blue. Let them be blue with her. So the fuck what? When you finally get it popping, it's going to be that much better. Because you done, now you know, like, damn, this is a woman I can build with for real, for real. Now you know. The sex will be that much better. Everything will be that much better, and it'll last. Y'all gotta learn how to bake a cake. Y'all gotta learn how to bake a cake. Let it sit in the oven for a little bit. Let that bitch rise up. Damn. Can the cake rise in this motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can the cake rise? Y'all the type that y'all just want to eat the batter. Y'all them type of people. Motherfuckers just want to eat the cake batter and shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't even want the cake to bake. You just want to go and eat the batter. Fuck it. Like, don't even got no intention on really making the cake. Just eat the batter. Throw some sprinkles in there. We good. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's understand what it is. Let the cake bake. Y'all laughing because you know it's real. Let that cake bake, yo. Let it build up. Damn. And it's going to be that much better. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, not the batter. Eat the batter later. You know when you lick the spoon after? Do that. But don't just be eating the batter talking about, you know what I'm saying, you making cookie dough and shit. See, y'all the type, y'all gonna take the cake mix and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna make cookie dough. I don't got time to wait for this cake to bake up. Damn. Like that. Is senseless sex and spirituality. How it affects destiny. That cake was a part of a bigger plan. That cake was a part of a whole dinner, a whole entree, a whole meal. That lover or lovers, depending on the type of relationship structure you got, it's a part of a bigger situation, just like the cake. That cake is a part of a whole dessert that comes after you done ate appetizers and entrees and everything else. It's a whole night thing. It's a whole thing. That cake is a piece of that. People that come into your life is a part of a bigger picture, especially romantic partners. When romantic partners come into your life, that's part of a bigger picture. A much bigger picture. Okay? When you get romantic partners coming in your life, that's a part of a much bigger picture. Much bigger. You don't want to squander that. And this is how crazy destiny is. You can fuck a situation up just because you had sex too fast. It's a lot of men that had a wife that didn't know that was a wife. And they fucked it up because they couldn't keep their dick out of her. They couldn't wait. It's a lot of women that had a husband, and because they moved too fast on sex, it ain't a husband no more. Now he's still in city boy mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, it happens. This happens. Trust me. So you want to be you want to be aware of that this is how things play out, you know. Destiny, you can alter things in destiny by what you do in the beginning of something happening. You know, the medical world shows you this all the time. You catch diseases early enough, a lot of them is treatable. If you do things early, a lot of it is able to be salvaged. If you see problems in communication with a relationship, you can probably save that relationship because you're going to learn each other. But when sex is involved too early, it becomes more difficult to learn the person unbiasedly. It becomes very difficult to learn a person without too much of your feelings being wrapped in it, and actually understanding that person, actually seeing what they're about. How do they play into your life? How do they play into the bigger picture? What can you guys build together? How can you add to each other? This is the shit y'all gotta think about. Don't think about the throbbing that's happening in your pants. Fuck that. That shit ain't bigger than destiny. When you doing things for destiny, all that come with it, and it's much sweeter. It's much sweeter. Trust me. Listen, it's better for the men. It's better to get a box that was destined for you. Ain't nothing like a box of destiny. You hear me? It's not. It's nothing like a box of destiny. When that pussy was destined for you, that's different. That's different. That's a different type. That's a different type of sex. It's nothing like a box that's destined for you. When that pussy was destined for you, it hit different. Don't be in a rush to jump in somebody's pants just because you feeling a lustful thing right now. Wait that shit out and see what they about and see how they fit into the bigger picture so that you don't get hit with a soul tie that you got to get rid of later. That's what I'm telling you. And people can take it for it is or fuck it. Do what you want to do. So, with that being said, family, I just had to come drop those jewels to y'all. Make sure that y'all, going through my videos on TikTok and subscribing to my YouTube, because I drop a lot more stuff. On YouTube, I'm able to do longer form content, you know what I'm saying? And I talk more about spirituality. But, on TikTok, you know how we rock on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? These men, they be mad at me. But if they actually listen to what I'm saying, they really know I'm giving them the game of life. You know what I'm saying? My YouTube is right in my TikTok description. So if you go on my TikTok bio, it's a little YouTube link. Just hit that. And that's my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. Yeah, let them be mad. Gemstar Barber. Yeah, let them be mad. Let them be mad. Let them be mad. You know what I'm saying? Let them be mad. Cause they gotta get these facts. They gotta get these facts. They mad because I'm telling them stop eating the goddamn cake batter. You can't make the fucking cake if you keep eating the motherfucking batter. That's a relationship. You gotta let the shit bake up. What? I hope y'all don't have sex like that. I hope that when you do have sex as the men, that you warm it up. I hope that you know how to warm it up. God damn. I want to eat the cake batter. What the fuck? See, like, it's so much attached to this. You know what I'm saying? There's so much attached to this. But that's just what it is. People can take it or they cannot take it. People gonna do what they want to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it don't be worth the work later. It don't be worth it later. So, it is what it is, family. Y'all stay growing out there. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Or double.